Hi guys, welcome back to Raw Sugar.
Hello, everyone.
We're so excited to be back. I feel like I say that every time.
I know, but it's because we don't do it as often.
As we would
so
like,
it's nice
yeah.
when we do it. It's like starting all over almost.
For sure.
Season 3.
Literally season 3. But we're excited to get this Friends episode out, like
Yes.
we promised.
Mhm.
We've had a lot of things come up before the Friends episode.
Yeah,
Sip and Paint, which was amazing.
that was so much fun.
It's gonna be hard to do this episode because I feel like we already talked about it.
I know. Okay, so a little backstory. We kind of already recorded this episode, and we gave this new tool to Mike to use, and it was a mic.
Yeah.
And it didn't catch any fucking audio.
Yes. So we are doing this all over again.
It should still be good because I think it happened for a reason because even after we did that, we kind of decided like, okay, I think some of us overshared and some of us didn't share enough.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it kind of worked out how it should have.
Yeah, because I felt like I was iffy about talking about what I was talking about.
Mhm.
And after the fact, I was kind of like, I just didn't even want to talk about it.
Literally right after she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I fucking talked about that. She felt like she should have retracted everything.
Yes. So everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. So we're good. So that's a little
backstory.
It was like a mini sesh for us to say certain things and they got it out. So now it's like everything's like chill now.
Yeah, I got over it all.
She had her little rant when the rant wasn't being recorded. So
yeah,
it was cool.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we definitely want to talk about crazy friendships or...
Yeah, because I think the whole reason we got on this topic was like we said in our first comeback episode, like the reason why Raw Sugar kind of ended was because there was a situation that happened with me and Cece. We kind of already talked about that. And that's what kind of led on to like, well, let's actually really dive into it because people don't really talk about it.
Yeah.
Especially girls. I feel like they don't really get into it.
Yeah. So you want to talk about us first?
I guess we can. We kind of lightly talked about it, but
okay.
We can revisit it. Open old wounds.
Open old wounds. We said we were going to cry for spilled milk anymore, but, here we are.
Look, I'm emotional today. I'm always emotional. So
he is an emotional creature. Why do you feel like you're so emotional?
Trauma. No, I have no idea. I feel like I'm more emotional now because I'm not scared to not be emotional.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a long time I held a lot of my emotions in. Now I'm like, I don't give a fuck. If I'm sad, I'm going to cry. If I'm mad, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
But more sad, like I feel like I cry all the damn time. But it's okay. It's like, thank you.
Everybody needs a hug sometimes.
No, but I feel like it's good release. Like some people try to like, sometimes my mom tells me like not to cry and I'm like, why wouldn't I cry? Because she's like, you're too emotional.
Do you feel like you like to be in a state of crying? Because that could be addicting. Like being sad. I know.
I don't think sad.
No, I know, but I read this book. I'm preaching the damn book. But it has literally changed my life. So if anybody wants it, it's called Tools. Hit me up. But there's a lot of it just it makes you confront yourself, like your shadow.
Yeah.
And sometimes because I know subconsciously there was a point in time where sad was familiar to me.
Yeah.
So that's what I always chose. The state I always chose to be in was to be sad because it was just
comfortable,
I guess. Yeah. After I got out of it, of course, then you see it and you're like, okay, why? Like, that's not cool.
Is that like depression? Could that be like...
Oh, probably.
Could it be like... what is it? Mistaken as depression if you just allow yourself to be sad and emotional?
Maybe.
Because I went through a little phase earlier, I think in January, where I just felt sad. It was just like a week, like a whole week. And I was like, I feel like I'm getting depressed. I mean, around that time, I'm like super emotional, but I don't know. I don't like being sad. I like being happy. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it's more comfortable for me to allow myself to be emotional if I need to.
I see. Well, I guess I'm trying to show emotions as well because I'm just probably for the same reason you are emotional is the same reason that I don't show emotion. So we're working on that, and I think that is a huge thing with my friendships.
Mm-hmm.
Is that with you you were like, you just kind of
push me to the side.
I didn't push you to the side
like a bitch.
I won't push you to the side like you're trying to.
She's nasty.
It's not too early for this.
It's never too early. No, but yeah, I think that was a big thing.
I'm bothered now.
Turn the camera on.
Get
your feels real quick. With me?
I know, yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a big issue, and it's just like I always say, like, I'm more like upfront with my emotions, and you're not. So I think that played a huge part, and I think we kind of said that.
So what was
the reason?
What was the straw that broke the camel's back for us to stop? Not talking, but to have this like weird energy, because it was like a weird.
We did stop talking.
We did?
Yeah.
For how long?
You stopped talking to me.
No, I did not.
Don't let her fucking play you. See? Allow yourself to a feeling. This is an open and safe place right now. This is a safe space.
Oh my god.
No, I felt that way. I feel like, yeah, the energy totally switched, and I didn't know what was wrong. So I just would like poke at her, like, hey, how you doing? Hope you have a good day. And it was kind of like she wouldn't text me back, or was super like short. So I was like, okay, so there's an issue and she doesn't want to address it, or I'm just gonna let shit like be the way it is.
Yeah, I'm totally like go with the flow. Like, if that's the vibe, that's the vibe. And I realize that is not good, because I could easily change that energy, and I don't.
Yeah,
I choose to just be like, okay, well, it is what it is.
But then when like that whole thing happened, like when we had our moment to like conversate, you were just kind of like, no, there's nothing wrong. And I was like, you fucking bitch. I'm over here crying.
There was nothing wrong on my end.
That you felt, but for me, it was like totally different.
Yes, you're right. I'm like, there was nothing wrong with me. It was all like you. Like, you.
Damn, bitch, you better take responsibility.
No, it was, I didn't feel like there was, I don't know. I just feel.
I'm very like, I feel like in my past life, I was like a fucking psychic medium or something, because I'm very in tune with people's emotions. And I think I've said this before, but I feel people's vibes like right away, and it affects me the way that they're feeling. So if April wakes up and she's off, even though she doesn't tell me, I feel off because I know she's off. And then I have to poke her and be like, I know there's something wrong, and she'll say no, and then she'll be like, okay, yeah, there is something wrong, or I'm just feeling off today. I'm like, I fucking knew it. So even though she won't say it, for me, that's what I felt. And I think it was just the energy between us was off. But Cece never wanted to talk to me, so.
I did want to talk to you. Well, yes.
It didn't feel that way. So I think that's, for me, for you, I think you kind of like, it opened your eyes to be more available with other friendships.
No, for sure. For sure. I do realize that I get busy, and that I need to make effort, because I want effort, and in order to get effort, I need to do the same thing. So
yeah, but there's also some friendships that just kind of die out on its own, and there's actually really no issue. Yeah, you just like outgrow each other, and people mature in different ways, or their paths go differently, and you just aren't on that same level where it's just kind of like there's no beef, but you just kind of like separate, and you don't have to have a conversation, because I feel like in the back of your mind you just be like, okay, cool, like I would still be like, happy birthday, or like, hope you, or something like so random, just like, you know, random chimes, but you know you're not, I wouldn't even say friends anymore, because I have friends like that, and I don't consider them friends anymore. Does that make sense? Like, it's shitty to say that I don't consider them friends, because I don't know how they feel, but for me, that's how I feel. It's just like we grew apart, like we don't ever talk. I feel like the only time we talk is like happy birthday kind of thing. But I don't have like bad blood with them. Yeah, but I don't consider them friends anymore. I would say like we used to be friends. Or
is there a situation that what is the situation that you've had that has made you like not be friends with somebody? Like, what was something that was so long-term friendship or short-term?
Where should we start?
No, we got time.
I've had plenty of long-term friendships that just died out for different reasons. And it's hard to pick one, but those were like the most meaningful friendships to me at that time in my life. So it affected me a lot more then because one, I was immature emotionally and mentally, that I couldn't handle it the way that now that I think, like, going back to it, I should have handled it a different way. But at the same time, it's kind of like those things happen in your life to teach you lessons for the next friendship. And I feel like you're always going to go through that no matter how old you are. Yeah. Like, my daughter's going through stuff, and I'm like, baby girl, you're going to be going through this for the rest of your life. I'm fucking 30, almost 31, and I'm still dealing with that with friends. And it's kind of like you come to a point where it just doesn't affect you as much anymore. Because it's like, well, if that's your vibe, then okay, cool.
See? So then you understand why I'm like that.
Well, those certain friendships, yeah, those certain friends that you don't need to have a conversation. Like, it's okay to let that shit go. It's kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate when people are like, no, I should mean something more to you than, like, you know what I mean? Letting it go so easy. So,
well, that's how I felt with you. And that's why I was like, I need to have a conversation because I actually do, you know, value our friendship and stuff. And it just wasn't a friendship for me to be like, okay, I'm going to just let this one slide.
What is something that happened to you that, like, changed your makeup of your life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, changed you. Because I'm like, there's pivotal moments in your life that change you as a person. And we're talking about friendship. So what would change you? Or, like,
you know, for a long time, I always, and I feel like I still kind of am that way. I'm like, I've lost someone so close to me, like my sister.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't want to be my friend, it's kind of like, I lost my fucking sister, so losing a friend doesn't mean shit to me. But I use that so much. It'll be 15 years this year. I've used that so much in the past 15 years where most of the time I just was like, well, fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? So it didn't affect me as much as, like, losing something so, like, close to me. But I'm like, I can't always think that way. I can't use it as an excuse anymore because if something is meaningful to me, I can't be so, like, fuck you kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I do wish I had more friends, but I can't get out of that headspace yet. I guess I'm not there yet. But there's been times where, like, I don't know if my mom will be comfortable with me saying this, but she grew up in a very abusive home with my dad. And that stuff is triggering for me. And I feel like some people who were my friends didn't know that part of my life. So I've been in multiple friendships where that happened. And it's been like, you know.
Domestic violence?
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I stepped back from the friendship and I was just like, I can't be here for you anymore because it triggers me. And I would feel like weird if I was still around you and that person. And it would be like I'm supporting it.
Yeah.
Kind of in a way.
You're condoning it.
Yeah. And I just didn't feel comfortable. And that's like a conversation I had with my mom. She's like, well, I don't think that that's fair. And I was like, you don't know. Like, I had one friend who would call me any time of the night, anytime in the morning, crying on the phone with cops, you know, very aggressive, abusive shit where I came to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, emotionally, I can't be available for you. I wish the best for you. I hope, like, shit changes or whatever you decide. But for me, it was too triggering where I was like, I love you, but I can't. And it's a double-edged sword because it's like, I feel like shit because if they're so close to me, why can't I be there for them? But at the same time, I have to consider myself also.
Yeah.
And that's deep.
And that's hard. Yeah, that is deep because I can see it from both sides where it's like, damn, you low-key should have been there because there's been situations with a friend of mine where I know that I completely am like, if that's what you're going to do and I'm telling you that I don't feel that that is correct for you. Yeah. I literally am just like, okay, go on your own way. But I completely cut off people because I don't want to be so invested in you making bad decisions that I, like you said, like you condone it. So there's been numerous times where I stopped talking to people. They're still in my life. Yeah. They're still my friends. But when people are in a certain relationship, and I don't condone it. Like,
and it's hard.
It's hard because you miss the person and you even miss who they used to be because they're not even that person anymore. Because they're with a person that is just so draining or.
And I feel like I'm always so available to friends for whatever the fuck like they need. Like I feel like I'm always the person that people come to and like put their emotions on me just because I'm always available, like whoever it is. And I felt like I was being taken advantage at that point because I would see this person hanging out with all their other close friends. And I was like, are you not telling them? Do they not know? Or did you just put it all on me kind of thing? You know what I mean? So, because to me, it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, I would hope that they didn't know. And even if they did, like, that's good that they're still there for them. But I just felt I make myself way too available for people emotionally that I take on the emotion myself.
Yeah.
And it fucks with me. And I don't do that with friends. And I feel like even if I did, I feel like they wouldn't be the same way.
Does that make sense? Yeah, they don't give you the same energy that
exactly.
you give. Yeah.
And that's a big thing for me is like, it's not 50-50, it's 100 and 100%. Like, right. You put your all into it. If I'm putting 100% into a friendship, I feel like it should be reciprocated. And if it's not, it's just not going to work for me.
So with that being said, like, how do you feel about people? So, because I'm the exact same way. Like, I'll literally take on somebody's energy. So that's why sometimes when somebody is just having a lot going on, I'm not as available as I should be just because I consume all the energy I feel. But is that fair? Like, is that, you know what I mean? Like
fair to us or fair to them?
Both ways. So is it fair as a friend for you to dump on all your negative energy onto me? And vice versa, is it fair to you to get dumped on? You know what I mean? Like, do you see what I'm trying to say?
No, I get it.
Like, but, so for instance, if I knew that I was going to put all kinds of negative energy on you, and I was conscientious of that, would that change how I talked to you? So see, it's just such a double-edged sword. Like,
I feel like I always offered myself as that friend. And I feel like a lot of friendships have that one friend where they allow you to unload yourself on, or you feel comfortable enough saying that stuff to them. And I feel like that was me.
You are that to me.
Because even, well, with Cece, I feel like sometimes we talk and I always say like negative stuff about myself to her, but she still hypes me up and still says stuff. But that's how I feel with her as a friend, is she allows me to, and I've honestly, like, aside from my best friend, like, you're the only other friend that I've ever, like, been able to do that with.
Aww.
I'm gonna cry. I'm just emotional today, goddamn.
I do. I appreciate our friendship. It's a definitely different.
But yeah, it's hard. It is. But I feel like if you allow yourself to be that person, I feel like every friendship needs that person who's gonna be open emotionally for them, because you're not. And it's not like you don't, like, I feel like I kind of have to beat it out of you kind of thing. Whereas with me, she just allows me, and I'm just more comfortable, like, unloading my shit on her. But I also feel like if it was too much for you, I would want the respect to be like, hey, I love you, but dude, like, you need to, like,
dude, you're toxic.
You need to go to therapy or something, bitch, because I can't tell you what you need to hear. But I feel like, and a lot of people don't do that. And I think that's why a lot of friendships don't work out, because you don't want to be that friend that's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You're like fucking annoying. You're too emotional. Issues.
You have issues. But I mean, we all have issues, and I definitely appreciate the circle that I do have, because we are able to get vulnerable and tell each other like crazy stuff. And I feel like it stays within that and it doesn't go outside. And that's one thing that I appreciate the most, because we were talking about love versus loyalty. And I would rather have loyalty than, because love sometimes you don't like people, and that's okay.
No, yeah, it's true.
But if you're loyal, you're gonna still be around and have that person's back when the love runs out.
Yeah. So. Well, I feel like if you have loyalty, then you'll have love. But like, loyalty is definitely.
No, because sometimes I won't be liking some of y'all. Just kidding. It's like, I need to do my edges, and we're wrapping up the podcast. And Nia thought it would be a great idea for me and Candace to hash out any beef we have. No, kidding. For me and Candace to talk about.
I'm still here.
Our lives. How do you want it to go?
Just do your thing.
Okay, so
this sums it up.
She does my edges.
No, I said Candace literally only became my friend in high school because she needed someone to do her hair and her makeup.
She fucking lying. She didn't even like to do hair and makeup.
I literally still don't.
I would literally have to beg her to do my hair. And it was the same hairstyle. Do you remember the hairstyle
oh my god, the little bump it? She would have a little bump it.
It was literally up in a ponytail.
She loved that shit.
So, question: What was a big thing that happened in your relationship as friends that may have broke you guys or almost broke you guys? And how did you guys recover from that?
Oh, we've had like 10 moments of that.
We got time for one.
What was our biggest one? Because me and Candace have literally had physical altercation. Like we
That was a long time ago.
that was like high school vibe. So nothing in high school counts, I feel. So let's not bring up that.
I was literally trying to protect her.
From her side. No, I'm not even talking about that time.
No.
I'm not- There's just so many stories, but I feel like this last time. Let's talk about the most recent. I would say when you moved to California.
Okay, well, you wanna bring it? You wanna talk about it?
Yeah.
Well, see,
what can I say?
no, I'm just like I'm actually bringing up the actual situation,
Okay.
which is you decided to call someone out on their shit,
Yeah.
and
Story of my life. I'm always that person.
this man like didn't take it so well, and I think in his culture, women don't talk as much as Cece does. But so he decided to walk out, and I went after him, and after that, me and Cece broke up. No, I was kidding.
We did.
We stopped talking about, I would say, like real serious. We stopped having real serious conversations.
I feel like we lost our connection because I literally was like, I'm not gonna. I foresee a lot of crazy shit happening, and I just didn't want that for her. And I just seen it, and I was right.
She was right.
I was fucking right. I'm always right, but I was right, and I tried to tell her, and she just fucking didn't listen to me. And that was hard, and I had to disassociate myself from the friendship because I'm so emotionally invested in her, where it's a little weird at this point. But it would F with me, you know, it fucked me up. So I had to disassociate myself. About to disassociate myself again. No, just kidding.
Oh my god.
So yeah, but how did we recover from it? Candace just is Candace and shows up on my doorstep, and I'm like, what up, girl?
Like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, like nothing ever happened. We literally have, this has happened so many times to us that it's like, whatever. But we have, like, where I say there's a lot of times where I don't like her, but I'm loyal to her.
See that you're talking too much.
Oh, fuck up your edges on this one. I'm talking a lot.
I think there's times in our lives where we do make decisions and we realize we made the wrong decision. And I'm talking about my relationship all the time. But when this happened, I think when it comes to our friendship, we decide when to talk and when not to talk. And at that time, Cece did not want to talk. Like Cece will literally bury you in her backyard for like 5 weeks. She won't text you back. And if she does, she's like,
all my friends are here all about it.
she's like, no, not only that, she won't fucking text you back. And then she's like really, really short.
What?
Like,
Thank you, Steve.
and it's so fucking stupid because you have to literally like kiss her ass to like make her like, I'll be like, are you fucking done? Are you done today? When you gonna be done?
And she literally is like that, like, are you over it? And I'll be like, fuck you.
Can you stop being a fucking brat?
I am a big brat, and I'm trying to change, guys. It's hard.
See, it's not just me.
No, and literally Candace had to tell me, like, do you not think that shit hurts my feelings? And then it clicked with me. I was like, oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings.
She's all no.
Oh, wait, I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry. Like, you have to spell it out in layman's terms for me to get it.
I think it's just more opening your eyes to what's really happening because you kind of just
I'm so
zone it out.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You look great.
Thanks.
Gee, thanks. Okay, bye.
I know.
And she's back. And we're gonna wrap it up because we are totally models today.
Yeah.
We wanted to get this episode out and dig really deep. We want to hear your guys' stories, so make sure that you leave a comment or even just write us and let us know your story.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
But I thought that was good.
I love
I almost got a bitch crying, but I spelled it in like a G.
I learned a lot about myself today.
So if she starts being short with you, there's a problem. Well, thanks guys for being here again. We love you, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Love you. Toodles.